the Wayne's World technical difficulties.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. What's good, everybody? This is SVR845. Welcome to episode 2 of the RogueNation845 Podcast. I'm sitting here with a good friend of mine, Mr. Snyder. How you doing today, sir?
Hey Sam, what's happening, brother? We're doing good over here.
Good. So first of all, man, I want to say congratulations on the new film. It's a impressive work of art, and you and Jimmy put together something really, really good, man.
Brother, I appreciate that very much. It's a highly favored compliment, brother, and very proud of it. Very happy to have Jimmy in my life. Very happy to have you in my life, brother, and very blessed. So,
same. So, for everybody out there that's listening, like me and the Snyder guy go back a long ways. We went to college together, Texas Community College, where we studied communications
and media production, brother.
Yeah, how long ago was that, man?
2005. The fall of 2005.
2005.
Yo.
That was an adventure right there.
Oh, you took the word out of my mouth, man.
That was an adventure right there. Shout out to Camilo and everybody over there at the Dutchess Communications Department.
Woo!
You guys really set the foundation for what we're doing here and now.
We're here. We're doing it.
We're doing it, right? Camilo, I've been so proud of my students. He used to always tell me about, because you know how I always get like B-roll.
Yeah.
And I learned that from Camilo. Because Camilo would always be like, you always need a B-roll. Something nice.
Man, you do that good.
Something to get their attention. B-roll is very important, sir. And that always stuck with me. So everywhere like I drive, everywhere I go, I set the camera up so that I can film. I'll stop. I'll pull over to the side of the road. I'll be like, oh, that's a great shot. Let me get that. And I'll just film it. Film as much as I can and just store it away in the computer. For instance, like for the behind the scenes for the Gift of Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Lord, forgive me.
You're good.
The Gift of Purgatory.
Yes.
I had to use, I needed a nighttime B-roll of driving at night. But I didn't film that for the purpose of right. I just had stored nighttime B-roll footage.
So you never lost anything.
Yeah.
Nothing got out of translation. Everything was captured.
Yeah.
It's ingenious, really, what you're doing.
Thanks, bro. I mean, I feel like I'm not doing anything like super special. Like I feel like I'm just touching the tip right now. And pause.
The man is humble. You see that? I love it. I love this.
But enough about me. Let's hear a little bit about you. How did you get started in this film world?
Ooh. Well, our boy Jimmy Hatcher and Sir Angelo Canalo, we watched. The title escapes me of what we watched at Showtime. We all, when Jimmy and I used to work there, Angelo would come through. We had a premiere of, and we'll probably get this later, of a horror movie that was done and screened at Showtime. We had all the makers come by, do like a big premiere. Chris Bister, who is Steve Bister's brother, owner of the theater now, Showtime Cinemas, had a whole gathering of this movie at Showtime. We watched it. Well, the three of us, Jimmy watched it. I mean, Angelo and I, bit the dust in midway through the movie. No disrespect to the movie. It was credited to the guys who made it. They were local. They were really good people. Did a whole Q&A afterwards. Like, I did end up seeing it after the fact, and it was a good craft of the horror genre, thriller genre. Think of a White Noise, Michael Keaton.
Okay.
That's how they were aiming for, and I feel like they hit it. But long story short, we left the screening of this, and it was about in 2011. We go out in the parking lot. We're shooting the stuff, whatever. We're talking. We're like, we really should do something like this. Like, you see these guys, they made it. They're here, right? And we're all talking. We're like, Yeah, maybe you're onto something. Maybe we could be onto something. And we really thought of what took the horror genre, and for us growing up, in the 90s and early 2000s, what was it that really injected life into the genre? And we said the Blair Witch Project, right?
Classic.
Because I'd say mid 90s was Scream. That's a given, right? But this were late 90s, early 2000s. It was definitely the Blair Witch Project that got people back in the theater, got people talking. And we really, with the first one, the Snyder Project, it's totally ekes that, the spirit of that.
Yeah.
Like the way it's shot, the way we approached it, the way we handled it, shooting, just the whole nature of that. I call it a beast, but really was hit in 2011, I'd say. Okay. And from there, we just kept it up because people did like it. People liked us, for what we were doing, and I guess we only get better in time, fine wine,
Yeah, time brings a lot of experience and a lot of practice into it. The Sean Snyder Project. How many of these have you released?
Oh, well, brother Colgrove, Seppi, jokingly said 5. To me, it feels like 5, but there's been a numerous amount. I'd say in the Jason Voorhees series, at least 8 we're up to, maybe 9 now. Okay, it's up there.
Of the Snyder Project.
Of the Sean Snyder projects. So
you have some unreleased ones out there, is what you're saying? Has it all been released?
No, they're all on the Barebone Cinema channel.
Okay.
It's just ones that I was more heavily-handedly involved in, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. There was a little time period where you went.
I took a leave of absence, you could say. Because in one of, I think in the third one, I was killed for a little bit. And it was really the mythology kind of took over, the whole history of why did Sean do this? Why did everybody start dropping? The body count started, get higher and higher. Why did all this really become a tumbleweed of questions, right? And when I came back to it, I just saw it really started to come full circle. And now we want to kind of keep evolving with it and just keep bringing more to the field, I guess you could say.
Well, listen, that latest installment, that was incredible. For everybody out there, shout out to Barebone Cinema. Go to their YouTube channel, like and subscribe to their channel. Watch all their material, especially watch the Sean Snyder Project one.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you
Fan calling.
I wish, but my apologies out there.
All good, man.
Shout out to Barebone Cinema. Go like and subscribe to their channel. Watch all the Sean Snyder Project ones. It's just incredible stuff. And when I was asked to be a part of this movie, at first I thought it was just this little 5-minute scene that we were doing. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm totally down. So when he said that it was finally up on YouTube, and I went to watch it and found out it's this mega movie. I was like, wow. I was blown away, bro.
Thank you, man.
I was blown away.
We're good to have you because we try to get the whole team 845, brew that foundation, make it stronger by the moment, and we really want it to grow and just shine. Not to sound corny, but we really want it to grow into a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out to everybody that's involved with that. Jimmy Hatcher, Angelo, Canelo.
Yes, sir. Angie, you're doing a hell of a thing there, Big A.
What are the other guys' names? If you could run them down.
Justin Van Voris. Shout out to you, buddy. He's another alum of Dutchess Community College. Seth Colgrove. We gave you a shout, buddy. Another 845 alum. Who else we got?
Shout out to Empire Explorer too for Seth Colgrove.
That's right. Can't forget.
Go find him on IG. Go find him on IG. He visits historical places and gives us a rundown.
The history of
the history
of historical monuments. Kev Walsh, you're at Kevlar Walsh on the IG. He does custom toys. Gave us the lighting. Really gave us vision for multiple projects, and especially this latest Sean Snyder project, The Gift of Purgatory. So shout out to you, Kev. Who else we got down on the run? Who am I missing? Steve Bister, Chris Bister, the Bister brothers are holding down Showtime, and Steve's coming on back in town, I believe, this week. So we'll give him a rundown too if you want to bring him on the show. He's
definitely
Hoffman.
Definitely. Who's the guy that was on the toilet? He's like, not today. Let me tell you, bro. You had me dying. I had to stop the video. You were like, not today. I had to stop the video because I could not stop laughing.
That's brother Terrence. That's Jimmy's buddy
Terrence. You are the man.
He was good, man. He got me. We kept thinking when we were shooting it, we're bringing back Rob Zombie's Halloween, the remake, where him and Mike Myers and Ken Foray had that battle that brawl in the stall, so they call it. Like, every time you look up Rob Zombie's Halloween reboot, that's what people like talk about. That scene, that fight with Ken Foray, because he's an '80s icon. Not to get off topic, but from
we're talking movies. There's no off topic
from beyond. That man's a genius, Ken Foray, and we probably grew up with him. Kenan and Kel, Nickelodeon show. So that's my brief history with that man. But he's a horror icon.
Nice.
So Terrence, getting back to him, he was phenomenal on the scene. He's a damn good dude, man. He busts his ass. He's a hard worker. He's a good man. Good egg at the end of the day. Mark, last name escapes me. The man, one singing. He's singing in the theater. He has that song. The one I bashed with the.
Well, he's crawling and he's singing the song.
Yeah. He did a hell of a job. He's been in the last recent movies as well. He's he's new to the gang, the Bare Bonez gang. Had to thank him. Anthony Rivera, big shout out to him. GMX Cosplay. He's also on IG. He wanted to do a big convention. I mean, he wanted to do Comic-Con. Unfortunately, COVID-19, shut all that down. Wanted to do Hudson Valley Comic-Con, but fear not, we will eventually return to all that because
that's something that this area definitely needs.
Thank you.
There's a lot of how do we call it? Do we have a name for it? Nerdum, movie fans, that type of 80s and 90s nostalgia type people.
That community is massive.
So huge. It's massive.
Right.
It's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast right now. It's like,
I want to blowing up the whole planet,
I want to cover massive topics, and this is something that we always talk about, and it's good to talk about it. And I hope you guys get that thing going, man. Eventually, don't give up on that. Get that going. Anybody out there that wants to work with them, man, just shout them out. So let's talk some movies. Since we're in the horror tip, what is your favorite horror movie?
Ooh. of all, you're saying?
Well,
that's hard.
Sometimes that's too hard. So let's go top 3 movies.
Top 3 for horror? Ooh, okay. I mean, I always go back to Reanimator. That's 85 was a huge year, pivotal year for horror, I felt. The Thing, not the original, the Thing from Another World. John Carpenter.
Yes.
Remake.
With Russell.
Kurt Russell. Yes. Keith David.
Yes.
Don't crucify me on it, but Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley
is in The Thing.
Okay, yes.
And man, like the stop motion effects in that, the prosthetics, the animatronics, the gore in that movie, the acting, the chemistry from all that were involved. John Carpenter, that was man, he is an icon.
Listen, John Carpenter's a legend.
Thank you. He's a legend. I couldn't have given him enough credit, in that. Yeah. In that genre, and all his early movies are gems.
Yeah.
Those two definitely high on my chart, and it's a silly one, but it's a horror comedy. Return of the Living Dead.
Oh my goodness.
I love those three.
You put one that's in my top 3.
Yes.
Return of the Living Dead, 80s version.
Yep.
Watching that movie as a kid, I don't know if I loved and hated a movie so much.
hated. Oh no!
In my time, it used to frighten me and make me laugh.
Yes, in like the same scene almost. It's like, what am I like supposed to like this, or do I like cringe at? I don't know.
Because the gore was so gory, and it wasn't like it looked like a dead person. It looked real.
Yeah, yeah. It almost, and it stuck with you. I mean, there's a lot of iconic scenes from that movie. Tom Matthews, one of the lead actors in that movie. I mean, I give him a big greenlit. If I'm saying this right, a lot of credit to him in the later Jason sequels. I mean, he's been a staple as Tommy Jarvis and Jason Lives. Yep. Right, part 6. He has come back to that in fan films, and he's come back to the video game of how much he adores that franchise.
Oh, he came back for the character.
The motion capture, and he did the voice. He's all about it with Kane Hodder, the Jason.
Kane Hodder. Listen, the end of Return of the Living Dead was probably what frightened me the most.
Oh yes,
it's like they bombed the city. And even after they bombed the city, you thought, okay, well, that was frightening. It's over. The war, what is it? The condensation or whatever, after they burn it.
Yes.
Goes up into the air, comes down through the rain, and the last shot is another dead body coming out the ground like, do you want to rest? And I'm like, it's not over. And I'm like, no, I can't sleep thinking these things is out there.
The gases reanimated from the ground. You're like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah.
The soundtrack, the characters. Ooh, another Friday the 13th alum, Miguel A. Nunez Jr. Was in. Who was he in Return of the Living Dead? The name escapes me, but he was like a pivotal survivor, right, in that movie.
Yes, he was
holding it down in the house.
He had the Jerry curls. Had the chain.
The biker look, right?
Yeah.
He was in with Suicide. He was in his gang, right?
Yeah.
Because Suicide didn't make it. He was an iconic. Spoiler alert, but the movie's been out for a long time. So, but Suicide, man, he had that line where he's like, "What do you think this is? This is a costume? It's a way of life." And the movie just had so many like points that hit home with if you're a fan of George Romero's zombie franchise series films. If you just love the idea of the Living Dead,
it's a great way to bring it back.
Absolutely.
I had not seen Night of the Living Dead when I watched Return of the Living Dead.
The original?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No,
Then when I went back to see that, I watched that more when I was older. Because for some reason as a kid, I was like, it's black and white. I don't want to watch that.
Turned you away from it.
Turned you away. But when I got older and I watched it, I was like, this is a classic.
A masterpiece.
But at the end, I was like, oh, the black dude's going to live. I was like, and this is how old? I was like, that's breaking barriers right there. But nope. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
The black dude gets killed at the end. He's the only survivor. I was like, classic movie, but that made me mad.
Heart-wrenching, man.
That broke my heart right there.
But definitely, if you haven't seen, check that. That's a staple to watch. Return of the Living Dead, and give a shout out to Tom Savini while we're at it for the remake, the 90s remake of Night of the Living Dead. That is a gem to watch if you're into gore. And Jimmy Hatcher can credit to this. He was the main man to go to for makeup effects. He is the go-to guy next to Stan Winston and Rick Baker, I would say, easily.
Yeah, and part 2 was good too. A lot of people like to crap on part 2, but
which one?
Return of the Living Dead part 2.
Oh, I
loved it too.
It brought Tom Matthews back.
It brought the two guys back
in reverse roles. James Karen and Tom Matthews.
I feel like we've been here before. I was like, oh yeah, you have.
They did it.
You're going down the same route you went last time.
It had the same humor. Dan O'Bannon had to shout out to that. He did the original. He did the script for Alien. The original Alien.
Nice.
So it's like you definitely had that vibe in some of the shot, at least in the first one, Return of the Living Dead.
Okay, so you named your 3.
Yes.
One of your 3 is one of my 3.
Right.
Return of the Living
What else
Dead.
we got left for you? Let's
my
hear
other
it.
2 I would say one definitely is the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Like, Freddy was it. Jason, Friday the 13th was good, but it wasn't funny at all until later on. So it started to get silly.
Freddy paved that for Jason.
But when Freddy came in, the first movie was phenomenal. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might want to watch that tonight. Because
there you go.
First appearance of Johnny Depp, by the way.
Mainstream appearance.
First mainstream appearance of Johnny Depp.
Right.
And it was just a classic. The second one,
Freddy's Revenge.
Freddy's Revenge was even scarier.
Oh, it is?
Than the first one. One of the favorite parts is like, you've got the body, and I've got the brain. And he peels off his head.
And he shows it.
That was the first touch of Freddy being funny.
Yes.
But it wasn't too funny. Now, when they hit part 3, and they hit that beautiful mix of horror and slight comedy with effects and doing that, it was, to me, it's a masterpiece. Dream Warriors.
There you go. The third film, Dream Warriors, is definitely up there. I love the kill. I mean, this can't be everyone that loves horror has seen this. Mm-hmm. When he comes down, and when he's in Phil's room, remember Phil?
Which one's Phil?
Curly-haired kid. He was like the suicidal guy. Mm-hmm. Freddy comes to life as the marionette puppet, and he like cuts himself down. Like, this is all stop motion.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And he's small, and his face like literally morphs into Freddy. It's a marionette like doll thing, and he literally cuts himself down. He grows into Freddy, huge like a giant, and he literally like starts slicing Phil from top to the bottom of his leg, and where he gets his veins, and he's literally controlling him with the glove.
Yeah.
And the way, for that, to see that.
That's a great movie,
and I was a teenager watching that. Like, I didn't see it initially when it came out. I was 87. It came out the year I was born. So I didn't see it, obviously, then. Yeah. But growing up and seeing that for the first time, I was like, dude, Freddy really went there.
Freddy was it.
He, like, really orchestrating him out to the window. And he literally, you see him, and Phil's just like, like screaming and hanging. Everyone's like pounding on the window, like the wizard kid. I forget his name. It escapes me.
Yeah, I forget.
But Taryn, Kincaid, Joey, they're all like,
Freddy say, "Sorry, kid, I don't believe you fairy tales."
When he had him as a wizard,
classic.
And he dug into his chest, and you hear him like, "Ah."
Freddy has so many classic lines. What was the one where the kid was a comic book artist?
Oh, Mark.
Yeah.
In the Dream Child.
Faster. What is it? Stronger than 1,000 bastard children or something. It's like
bastard maniacs. What was
Super Freddy. And the power glove.
Oh, and the next
power glove. I was like, you forgot the power glove.
Yeah, in the Final Nightmare. Yeah. That one was super ridiculous, though. It really, and that was an editor on the original movies. Rachel Tallahay became a director of that. The first woman director of the series, and the 3D part at the end, where we had to wear those red and blue.
Listen, that scared the crap out of me in the theater. I didn't expect that when she first puts on the glasses.
Yeah.
And goes to the door, and then Freddy's like, "Rah!"
I
was like, whoa. And at that time, that had not been done before.
No, not the mainstream.
Yeah, it had
for
not
a while.
Been done before.
That was that seems to be a trend at least when we were all going to movie theaters. 50s, there was a big thing with Vincent Price in House of Wax when he's the paddleball. Like, that was a huge effect at the time.
Yeah.
Jaws did it. I mean, it went there.
I've met Jaws as well.
3D when they're in the sea world, right? Yeah. And the shark comes crashing through the glass. I mean, it looks silly, but seeing that in the theater with the glasses, I'm sure was cool.
Yes.
But man, Freddy, I definitely am with you on that franchise. You can't just contain it in a movie.
Definitely.
Because the franchise, it's...
My thing is this, like, they want to reboot it.
And they want to try again?
Yeah. But, because it's Freddy, it's a franchise. You got to make money on it. The last reboot was not successful. You know what I mean?
Definitely not. I was very.
You should have rebooted it with Robert Englund.
Yeah.
You should have just rebooted it with him. And you would have been on a whole new platform. You'd probably be on your 4th film right now.
With him.
Out of a new series.
Like him he would have probably passed the torch in that 3rd one that he, bring it full circle. Because he did, his 3 were great. He could pass it off. And we talked about this before.
He wants Kevin Bacon.
The original man himself from Friday the 13th that had one of the best, if not the greatest kill in that series. He wants to come, the original Hollow Man wants to come in to be Freddy Krueger. I would be cool with that, honestly.
Yes.
Because, Jackie Earle Haley, a great actor. He was great in Watchmen. It did not fit.
It didn't fit. It wasn't Freddy. People know Freddy as a funny character.
Scary dude.
Scary. Like, there's no iller combination than being funny when somebody's about to slice you up.
Right.
Like, yo, you're laughing at him slicing people up because he's making it funny. Yeah, so I say bring him back for... I know he's older now, but with makeup and all that, you can get a body double.
Bobby Englund, yeah, he's all about it too. Going off of that, he wants to at least do one. He has one more in him,
and it's all about nostalgia nowadays, bringing back old characters and stuff like that. So just do it, guys. Bring back Robert Englund. Make
money, will you? Like,
you know
it's there, it's waiting for you.
Come on,
and us as fans, we deserve it. You know what I mean? It's like it's a dumb idea to keep us waiting.
Definitely. Now, my number 1 scary movie.
Let's hear it.
Evil Dead.
Yes! It's the Sam Raimi masterpiece.
Oh,
if anybody argues that.
Evil Dead 1 and 2.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
They're mirrored to be very similar to each other. Like
they're frightening to me. Like, it's just weird.
Two is...
Yeah.
I just watched it recently with Seth, right? Yeah. And Justin. Dude... It's a big budget version that continues the story of the original Evil Dead. That cabin is so iconic. The book of Necronomicon is so iconic. To go back to Freddy, it was in...
Freddy versus... It was in
Jason Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Where, again, everyone knows this. Freddy comes up out of the ground, pulls down that iconic hockey mask. So, to bring all that into one... universe, whoa, like as a kid, a teenager for that matter, and Bruce Campbell, man, what a actor to show that range. Like he's a theater guy, right? Roots, but man, he is funny, he is smart, he's got the charisma, dude. That is our hero.
The change from like Evil Dead 2 to Army of Darkness.
Oh, there's a dip in genre.
Like it threw me off when I watched Army of Darkness because I was like, this is like more of comedy.
It's very silly.
Horror.
Right.
When the last one was just like, I thought the devil was in my room or something like that.
Yeah, everything coming to life, right? The deer head and the thing in the cellar, like his friends and
it was just crazy.
That's a great one to watch. Maybe not at night, but that's a great one to definitely pop in to see just where Sam Raimi came from. You see why Bruce Campbell came on board the Spider-Man films, did the cameos.
He's about to do Doctor Strange too.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, and that's a perfect man to...
Rumor he's bringing Tobey Maguire. Going through the multiverse to bring the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
That's my Spider-Man, folks. I said it, you heard it here first. That's my Spider-Man.
He was good. Tom Holland is still the best Spider-Man.
Do it.
all around.
Yeah, okay.
Because Tobey looked like a grown man.
Even in the first one, right? Yeah.
Tom Holland actually looked like a young kid.
True.
Being Spider-Man.
And this is fact, right? I'm not just throwing this out in the air. Stan Lee gave Tom his blessing, right? Before he passed. I didn't want to just say that as like, oh yeah, that's,
Well, I'm excited for, because they're bringing back Garfield.
Andrew Garfield? Yes.
And Maguire.
Okay. See?
For, supposedly for Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange 2.
Okay.
So they're trying to do the Spider-Verse.
the live action.
Yeah, which
Spider-Verse.
it makes sense.
Sure.
And the only reason why they're doing it is because DC is doing the Flashpoint, where they're going to the multiverse and bringing like Michael Keaton, Batman, and all
Affleck,
that. So of course, if you guys don't know the story out there, when Kevin Feige was approached about making Captain America Civil War, he did not want to do it. He did not want to put Captain America against Iron Man at that time. But then DC, Warner Brothers, put out that they were putting out Batman versus Superman. So Kevin Feige, being the guy that he is, he's like, no, we have to compete with that. So he greenlit Civil War and put that out. So now when DC's putting out the Flashpoint, and they're doing all this multiverse stuff,
right?
This Kevin Feige now has taken Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness, changed it from what his original idea was going to be. And now, from what I hear, Toby will be back. Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine for Doctor Strange 2. Buddy. Professor X is coming back for that. Multiple Tom Cruise will be playing Iron Man, because he originally was going to be they were going to make an Iron Man movie in the 90s, and he was the one that was going to make it. Yeah, so they're going to bring him back in as an alternate universe Tony Stark. John Krasinski, he tried to be Captain America. He auditioned for Captain America.
I read that.
Yeah, so there's talks of him playing an alternate version of Captain America.
What? Tell me if this is right. Is he attached to the Fantastic Four reboot as well, John Krasinski?
That's mostly like a fan casting.
I figured.
He's the perfect casting, which I think he will be cast as Reed Richards.
Yes.
He will be
I'm
Reed Richards.
Fully supportive of that.
That's been long known.
Okay.
They even have the comics drawn to look
like him?
To look like him.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, even though there's no announcement on that.
No.
Ant-Man 3 is supposedly going to introduce Kang the Conqueror and Fantastic Four, from what I hear.
Okay, that's a good segue.
And
I thought with Captain Marvel, the Skrulls coming in.
So Secret Invasion is coming to the MCU.
Okay.
Well, what the MCU is going to do right now is they're going to split into two major stories.
Okay.
Throughout these phases, there's going to be a cosmic story, and then there'll be an Earth-based story.
Awesome. So
Captain Marvel, Secret Invasion, from what it's being loosely called right now, will be the main Secret Invasion movie. It'll be Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
But they've already placed seeds in Spider-Man Far From Home. But they're changing the story, because in Secret Invasion, it was the Skrulls that were invading, but as you saw in Spider-Man Far From Home, Nick Fury's working with the Skrulls.
Right. So
there has to be some kind of slight little change going on in there.
Okay, which, we expect from the Marvel MCU. It's like, that's good. I welcome all the change, because Kevin Feige is a genius. The man's brilliant. My worry, we keep going back to this DC, but Warner Brothers, man, get your act together. I'm not afraid to say it. We've been hurting for years for a dynamic, cinematic gem, and I'm all ears, Sammy. Come on,
listen to me, DC. Listen to me, listen to me well. You have the best characters. You have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. You have the Trinity, and what it is that DC doesn't have a Kevin Feige.
No.
Doesn't have a person that's in charge of all, I'm in charge of all DC comics, movies, and everything goes through me. They don't have that. They're trying. I give it to them. They're getting better. Like, Man of Steel was good.
Yeah.
It's a great starting point. I was really upset with Batman versus Superman, but now that I go back and watch the director's cut.
Yeah, originally I was.
And the longer extended one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good movie as well.
The Ultimate Edition is great.
And Justice League, we're finally going to get the real ending for Justice League.
The Snyder cut.
Because I almost walked out of Justice League in the theater. I was like, what is this? Complete, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, dark. More mature. And then Justice League was just like this fake Avengers type thing. And I looked over Will. I went with Will to...
Will Turan, yeah, boy.
Shout out to Will. And we would look at each other like, what are we watching?
Are we in an alternate timeline?
Yeah.
What happened?
What is going on? This is not cool. And of course
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I felt that way. I was gung-ho for Batman Superman originally. I was like, oh, this is it. This is DC bringing it to what we've been waiting for. And, I mean, everybody probably is going to say it with the Martha reveal, when Batman's got Cavill, you know.
Why'd you say her name?
He's got Superman with the kryptonite spear, and he's got him where he wants him. It's like that whole... They
tried to do too much.
Yes.
They literally tried to squeeze 3 storylines into that movie.
Into one movie.
The Flashpoint with the Flash going...
she's the key.
She's the key. Blah, 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 which you won't even see that until Justice League.
I know.
And, so you don't even get it. Then they did Death of Superman.
Oh, God.
And The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Like, you tried to squeeze 3 things into one movie when each one of those things would have been a phenomenal movie on its own. On its
own, right.
You know what I mean? And it's just
like
insane.
You literally just shoehorned Ben into that whole mix. You know, I mean, he's the Batman and Superman showdown. That was probably easily the best scene in the movie. Or one of.
It was great.
Right?
I love that part.
It was... You had enough there where it didn't go too short, too long, and they brought everything to the table. Even the kitchen sink. That's like a big joke.
Yeah.
But he literally smashes them with his kitchen sink, like to end it. And it showcased Superman's strength. You definitely got to see it there.
Yeah.
It humanized him. I mean...
Listen, I hope Snyder gets to finish his vision. I hope we get the Justice League that we've always wanted.
And we deserve.
I'm sorry.
It's like...
I mean, I even want to see the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad.
The David Ayer cut.
More Joker.
Right. Jared Leto, you know, I mean...
I thought he was good.
He was.
Everybody was hating on him, and I was like, yo, he's playing a pretty good Joker.
Right. A Joker that we've never seen.
I've never seen a Joker like that.
So I'm like, listen, give him a break. He got the shafts, too, in that... The making of that movie, the editing of the movie, I mean, they gotta stop. Whoever's in charge of putting out these films, man, give it a break. You know?
Yeah.
Give us a break. We want to see a good superhero movie from Warner Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, I know they got Black Adam with The Rock coming.
Yeah, whenever
Wonder Woman 2 is just...
In 1984.
It's in limbo.
It's done.
Because it's done. They don't know if they want to release it digitally or put it in theaters.
HBO Max. I smell it. I smell it coming.
But The Flash, I mean, they got potential. Once they brought Michael Keaton back, that sparks interest.
Confirmed. He is gung-ho for that.
Sparks interest. And to know that he's going to be Batman Beyond, that Batman Beyond is coming.
It's coming, yeah.
You know what I mean?
First
he's supposed to mentor Batgirl in a Batgirl movie.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing. And then eventually he'll get to Terry McGinnis and he'll be the Batman Beyond.
Okay, I could buy that. Yeah. That works.
And then Ben Affleck's supposed to... This is all depending on if the Snyder Cut...
Does well, right?
Does well.
Which it should.
Ben Affleck's supposed to get a HBO Max series.
Of the Batman,
Of the Batman.
Okay.
Well, it won't be called The Batman because...
Oh, the Robert Pattinson movie.
Is The Batman, but Snyderverse will have its own verse.
Okay.
You know, but it's going to be dependent on the Snyder Cut. Like, HBO Max has to get... a tremendous amount of subscriptions.
Okay. Well,
they did not do well when they started. They're doing really bad. So if the Snyder Cut can get them a lot of subscriptions, you're gonna see so much stuff.
I'm calling it right now. I think there won't be a problem with that.
I hope so.
There's people have been talking of the Snyder Cut immediately after.
For years.
At least 3 or 4 years.
They always said it's never gonna happen.
It doesn't exist. No. But here you go.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Jason Momoa who got that all.
Oh man, the planted that seed.
Remember the guy was like, it doesn't exist, right? He's like, oh, you think it doesn't exist?
Immediately.
I've seen it. And they said he was lying.
I know they
Guess
called.
he wasn't lying.
They tried to call the man out. Aquaman himself. Like, how you gonna doubt him?
Like, how you gonna doubt the one man that brought you $1 billion movie?
That's right.
The only $1 billion movie.
Ooh, and to bring it back full circle to our horror discussion, Jimmy Wan, our boy who brought Aquaman, made him serious again, made him an ass kicker again.
Created a whole world. Aquaman was good.
It was.
Aquaman
it's
was
up
good.
there with Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. It's top tier.
Got you $1 billion, man.
That's right.
Got you $1 billion. Wonder Woman couldn't get you $1 billion.
No. Critically, that movie is better. I mean.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, they're two different movies.
True.
You know, they're two different worlds.
Oh yeah.
You know, but Wonder Woman was a great movie.
It is. It's
great.
It's still.
And
84 is on track to at least stream well. I want to see it in the theater, but with everything going on, I don't know. It's not looking good.
So I think we'll end it there.
Okay. We're not watching The Gift of Purgatory?
I think we'll have to do another episode.
Okay. That's
already
cool.
running on like 40 minutes. I don't want to leave these running long.
Okay.
We talked a good amount about a lot of good things.
Yeah, it's definitely
really good.
It's healthy talk.
So,
healthy talk.
Thank you for coming, bro.
Thank you for having me, brother Sam.
Thank you for being on the RogueNation845 Podcast, talking movies. Guys, go check out Sean Snyder and The Gift of Purgatory, Bare Bones Cinema on YouTube. Shout out to Jimmy Hatcher and the whole team that made it possible. It was a great honor to work with you guys. Loved every minute of it. And hopefully we can get some of you guys on the show and we can talk more about it. So, Mr. Snyder, thank you again for coming and discussing with us. A lot of great stuff that you put out there for us to know. And I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Sammy. My pleasure. Right. God bless all you. Rogue Nation 845. Hear it.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.